If you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'm not overweight, but I'm definitely a lot softer than what I would like, then this video is for you. I'm going to be running you through the exact strategies to go from skinny, fat and soft to lean and toned as a shorter female. And if you don't know who I am Katie. I'm an experienced online personal trainer and fellow shorty at 5'3", and I've coached hundreds of petite women to lose body fat for good and finally look lean and toned. And the truth is, most shorter females feel stuck in that kind of skinny fat phase because they're not following the right training phases and the right nutrition protocols for your body. So today I'm going to be running you through the exact methods to go from skinny fat to toned as a female 5'4" and under, using the exact same roadmap I use for myself and that I teach hundreds of women inside my Rise coaching program, so that you can finally look strong, sculpted and confident without restriction or burnout. And in order to look toned, you need to do two things. Firstly, you need to actually have a good amount of muscle in your body. And secondly, you need to have a low enough body fat percentage so that you can actually see the muscle you've built. And that is what will create that lean defined look. You know, that definition in your arms, your glutes looking lifted, and having an hourglass figure. That all comes from building muscle. And if you're someone who is just constantly dieting, you're afraid of eating more, then you're never actually going to get the body that you truly desire. And this is where I see a lot of petite women getting stuck. You're always just chasing a smaller number on the scale and not getting stronger. And I first realized this when I lost 20 kilograms around 10 years ago. Now, don't get me wrong, I was so proud of myself. I felt so confident in my body, but I just looked soft. And honestly, this is because in order for me to lose that weight, I just did tons of cardio and I ate like 1,200 calories. And I didn't know the importance of nutrition and protein particularly. So whilst I did lose a lot of weight, my body didn't look toned or what I truly desired. And this is when I realized that in order to actually look athletic and toned, it's not just about dieting hard or losing loads of scale weight. It's actually about the approach that I'm going to teach you. So let's run through my 3-phase short girl transformation plan, taking you from soft to sculpted as a short female. So phase 1 is the fat loss phase, and I'm assuming that most of you watching this probably have some unwanted body fat that you're trying to lose. So it's often best to start with this phase first. And that's because when you're leaner, your body actually becomes more efficient at using calories, which will help later on when you start to build muscle. Now, the length of this phase will ultimately be determined by how much body fat you need to lose. Ideally, you want to get in and get out of this fat loss phase as efficiently as possible. Otherwise, if progress is slow, you will just get frustrated. I would aim to lose around 5 to 10% of your body weight each week. So for example, if you're a 70-kilo woman, this will be around 0.3 to 0.7 grams per week on average. And if you're thinking, Katie, I literally have no idea where to start when it comes to losing body fat, then don't worry. I will leave a link to my free fat loss guide in the comments below for you. Now, during this fat loss phase, you obviously want to be in a calorie deficit, but you also need to be lifting weights at the same time. Ideally, 3 times a week is most optimal, and then you want to be adding cardio strategically on top, not excessively. So alongside your 3 progressive weight training programs, I recommend also having a high step count. And then you can start to add in more low intense cardio, such as the Stairmaster, cycling, or some light jogging to assist in pushing the fat loss. And try to avoid too much or any HIIT training if you can, as this can impact your hormones and your hunger when you're in a calorie deficit. Now, the aim is to put your body into a slight calorie deficit so you're losing at a sustainable rate. You don't want to burn yourself out and slash your calories, slash your carbs. You still want to enjoy this phase and make it fun, because you don't want to lose loads of weight and then just completely rebound because it was so restrictive. Also, it's super important that if you are a beginner to dieting or weight training in general, then you want to use this first phase to really increase your knowledge around weight training, your understanding of nutrition, and also start to implement habits and routines that you can carry on for life. The behaviors that you build in this phase are going to be so important to maintaining your results. If you just jump straight into building muscle or into a calorie surplus without actually knowing what to do, then you're probably just gonna add unnecessary body fat because you don't really understand how to firstly train with intention or eat correctly for your goals. So whilst this is a fat loss phase, if you're a beginner, this is also your priming phase. The idea is to strip the body fat back, learn how to track, and start building habits and behaviors that are gonna set you up for the next phases. On to phase 2, which is the reverse diet to maintenance. This is the phase where you learn how to actually maintain your fat loss and start building your dream physique. And this is where most women go wrong because they think, fat loss is complete, that's it, I'm done. And then you just completely stop all the habits, behaviors, and actions that you did in order to lose the body fat. But newsflash, you actually have to continue all of these traits after fat loss as well. So once you've lost a good amount of body fat and you're feeling good, then you want to start slowly increasing your calories back up to a more sustainable level. This is gonna help to give you more energy, it's gonna help you to train harder, and it's going to help you to get stronger without gaining unnecessary body fat. I recommend adding 50 to 100 calories per week until you get to a good strong baseline. And just remember that your maintenance calories before you lost the initial body fat is probably going to be slightly lower now that you weigh less. So just bear that in mind when you start to reverse them back up. This second phase is also kind of the middle ground between phase 1 and phase 3. And ultimately, this is where you want to be sitting once you've developed that dream toned body. But before we can just sit here comfortably maintaining, we need to head into phase 3, which is the improvement phase. And this is the phase where you will actually start to build significant muscle and create those curves. Now, as a short female, you do not need to eat loads and loads of calories to build muscle. If you're 5'4" and under, your maintenance calories aren't going to be as high as, say, your 5'9" friend. So don't just copy their calories or think that you need to bulk. You don't. You just need to eat enough to support muscle growth. And to really get the most out of this phase, then you want to be spending at least 4 months at a time here. Building muscle takes longer than losing body fat. And the longer you can sit in this phase, the more your body is going to transform. Now, in this phase, it's important to understand that the scales probably will go slightly up. And that's normal. Muscle carries weight just like body fat. Therefore, your body will be growing. It's gonna have to gain weight. But in order to keep the body fat down to a minimum, then I would aim to gain around 2.5% to 5% of your body weight per week on average. But please also remember that water retention and inflammation play a huge part in scale weight fluctuations. Therefore, if you see big spikes on the scale some weeks, it doesn't mean that it's body fat. So don't panic and head straight back into a calorie deficit. Just stay consistent and monitor your progress, not just through scale weight, but by taking your photos and taking your measurements as well. And if you're progressively getting stronger in the gym each week, then the likelihood is that you will be building muscle. So now we've run through the 3 different phases, let's talk about the timeframes. Because if I'm being completely honest with you, you probably won't have your final desired physique after just going through one burst of each phase. And honestly, the most development is going to come from transitioning between them all for years and years. So set yourself a structured plan throughout the whole year. You could start with an 8 to 12 week cut, perhaps lean into summer or a holiday or an event you've got. Then you might want to then transition into maintenance when you have more social events on or you're traveling more. Then you may want to spend the next 4 to 6 months in that improvement phase. Start to increase your calories slightly, and you've started to build significant muscle. Then you might want to head back into another 8-week cut to reveal the muscle that you've been building. Cycling through these phases is just going to help you keep progressing while staying in a shape that you feel comfortable with all year round. And this is what's going to help you to finally have that toned physique that you have been chasing. So if you are a female 5'4" and under, and you're tired of being skinny fat, tired of doing everything right but seeing no change, then this is your sign to start training and eating more effectively through these phases. You don't need to eat 1,200 calories. You don't need to live on cardio. You just need to follow the right strategy for your body. And this is the exact 3-phase transformation plan I take my clients through inside of Rise Coaching, helping women like you to transform their bodies and confidence without the overwhelm or the guesswork. We plan out their year together, when they're going to cut, when they're going to build, and also how to do it effectively so they actually see the results that they want. And if you love this video and you're ready to take your physique and your training to that next level so that you can actually look toned, not just smaller, not just soft, then come and join my petite and powerful community together. I'll leave all the links and information below. And don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.